root 3 into 2 plus square root 2. How would you do? See, in your 8th class you have studied multiplication of monomial, binomial, trinomial, etc. This is 2 terms means binomial. 2 terms means binomial. You are multiplying binomial by a binomial means first term is of a first term binomial. Write the first term, that is 3. In algebra children, whenever you solve such multiplication problems, you always make habit of writing each term in brackets so that you won't go wrong with the sign. So 3 into this whole bracket, that is 2 plus square root 2. Plus sign is there in between, so plus square root 3 into 2 plus square root 2. Now multiply this 3 inside this bracket, the square root 3 inside this bracket. 3 2s are 6 plus 3 into square root 2, nothing you can do, write it as it is, 3 root 2 plus root 3 into 2 is again 2 root 3. Root 3 square root 2 into square root 3 you will get now. So next what we'll do is 6, we'll write as it is, 3 root 2, 2 root 3 cannot simplify, so write them as it is. But this last term of children, we can multiply. Addition and subtraction of different numbers under the root, not possible. Multiplication you can do, as we did in rationalizing the denominator. So square root 2 into square root 3 is square root 6. See, if at all you can know, then directly you can write here only square root 6. You need not do one more step. Further you cannot simplify, leave it as it is. Second question is 3 plus square root 3 into 3 minus square root 3 children. If at all you look at this question, this is of the form a plus b into a minus b, which is expansion of the identity a square minus b square. A square minus b square is a plus b into a minus b, correct? We have how to solve means a square minus b square form, the question will be there. We used to write it in the form of a plus b into a minus b, but here the given question itself is in the form of a plus b into a. So what we'll do is 6, we'll write as it is, 3 root 2, 2 root 3 cannot simplify, so write them as it is. But this last term of children, we can multiply. Addition and subtraction of different numbers under the root, not possible. Multiplication you can do, as we did in rationalizing the denominator. So square root 2 into square root 3 is square root 6. See, if at all you can know, then directly you can write here only square root 6. You need not do one more step. Further you cannot simplify, leave it as it is. Second question is 3 plus square root 3 into 3 minus square root 3 children. If at all you look at this question, this is of the form a plus b into a minus b, which is expansion of the identity a square minus b square. A square minus b square is a plus b into a minus b, correct? We have how to solve means a square minus b square form, the question will be there. We used to write it in the form of a plus b into a minus b, but here the given question itself is in the form of a plus b into a minus b, means we should write this in the form of a square minus b square. So a plus b, a minus b. Here a is 3, b is square root 3. So a square minus b square means 3 square, a is 3. So 3 square minus b square is square root 3 whole square. Here only I will write, but you should write it below children. 3 square means it is clearly 9. Square root 3 whole square is there, in which square and square root will get cancelled. Minus sign as it is, you are left with only 3. 9 minus 3 is 6 is the answer. That's all. Very simple problems children. Here you look, third question, root 5 plus root 2 whole square. Is it not in the form of a plus b whole square? So we should apply that identity of a plus b whole square, which is a square plus 2ab plus b square, where our value of a is square root 5 and b is square root 2. So we should apply. I am applying the identity a plus b whole square. I will not write the expansion, directly with numbers I write. A square means square root 5 whole square plus b square plus square root 2 whole square plus 2 into square root 5, 2 into square root 5 into square root 2. See, a square, b square, 2ab. Each term I am writing in the bracket here. I said no, if at all you have minus sign, then you will go wrong. So For plus sign whenever it is there also, make habit of writing individually in the bracket. 2a is root 5, b is root 2. Now here next step, square root of these two gets cancelled, so remaining 5 plus as it is, square root get cancelled, 2 you get, plus this 2, write it as it is, root 5 into root 2 is square root. So we got 2 root 10, 5 root 5 into root 2 is 10. Now this 2 is children along with this square root 10. So you cannot add with these two numbers, but you can add these numbers which are outside. 5 plus 2 is 7. This plus sign as it is square root 10. This is how you do. Further it cannot be simplified. Leave it as it is. Don't go to add this 2 with this 7 and write 9 root 10. No, anda. It is wrong. Why? Because this number is along with this square root, but these are happy, no square root with them, they are free to move. Now, so you cannot add, and 7 plus 2 root 2 10 is the answer. Now next question children, last one, it is of the form a minus b into a plus b, just like the third one what we saw. So this is of the form a minus b into a plus b, whose expansion, identity is a square minus b square, where a is root 5 and b is square root 2. So if it is in the form of a plus b, a minus b means you should write it in the form of a square minus b square. This implies root 5 whole square minus square root 2 whole square. Understood? Here illi a plus b, a minus b form alittu. So a square minus b square badadvi. But illi a minus b, a plus b form alide. Eradu ಒಂದೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ multiplication. 2 into 3 ನು ಒಂದೇ, 3 into 2 ನು ಒಂದೇ. So ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬರಿಬಹುದು? a minus b into a plus b is a square minus b square, where a is square root 5, b is square root 2 ಅಂದ್ರೆ a square minus b square ಅಂದ್ರೆ a square ಅಂದ್ರೆ square root 5 whole square, b square ಅಂದ್ರೆ square root 2 whole square. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? square root gets cancelled, square root. 5 minus 2 which is equal to 3 and done. That's all. Very easy exercise children. This is about exercise, the second main of exercise 1.5. Third main what do we have is recall. Pi is defined as the ratio of the circumference, say C, of a circle to its diameter, say D. That is, pi is equal to C by D. This seems to contradict the fact that pi is irrational. How will you resolve this contradiction is the question. So, here no need to work out anything. Just I will show you what they have asked us. Try to understand the question here. Pi is defined as a ratio of circumference, say C. So pi is there. We know pi is irrational, correct? But pi, they are telling pi is expressed as the ratio of circumference to diameter. Circumference is represented by C and diameter is represented by D itself. So pi becomes C divided by D, correct? If at all you are able to express this pi in the form of C by D, then they are telling, then it means it can be expressed in the form of P by Q, where Q not equal to 0 means, then pi becomes a rational number. Alva, but idu irrational number anta ನಾವು ಓದಿದೀವಿ. 3.14 non-terminating, non-recurring, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ pi is irrational. But what they are saying, if you consider as a ratio of circumference D to the circumference C to the diameter D, C by D ratio ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ P by Q form ಅಲ್ಲಿ if at all you can express it, then it becomes a rational number. Is this a contradiction? If not, justify your answer. So ಇದನ್ನ ಹೀಗೆ ಬರೀತೀರಾ. Pi is equal to C by D, where C is circumference, D is diameter, then it is P by Q, Q not equal to 0. But circumference by diameter, when you take the ratio children, we will not get some fixed or constant value. That is the point. Correct? Say circumference is 3 by 2. So 1 remaining 5. 1.5 something he get over that. So it does not have fixed value. We will say 1.5 some 6, 7 and approximately equal to anta we will write. So it does not have fixed or constant value means then clearly pi is again irrational. So even though you write it in the form of, if you take the ratio of C by D also, the answer, what value we get is not the exact value, but it is the approximate value anta one sentence maridi. Hence question children, represent square root 9.3 on the number line. Exercise 1.4 we left now. It is related to that. So fourth one don't do for now. It is of no use anywhere. So we will do it later. I want to show the construction. Nanu square root 2, square root 3 I sent no, like that I will do it and send. I cannot do it on the board. So don't leave place or anything. You can continue writing the exercise. We shall go to the fifth main, that is the last main, which is rationalize the denominator, which is very easy again. You all know it. How to rationalize. Fifth main, children. First question, rationalize the denominator. 1 by square root 7. We did for square root 2, no? Here only, here also like that, only one number we have. So next step I am not writing here for me space constraint, but you should write it, okay na? So into square root 7 by square root 7. Multiply 1 into square root 7 is nothing but square root 7. In the denominator, square root 7 into square root 7 is square root 7 whole square. Square root will get cancelled. So answer is square root 7 by 7. Further it cannot be simplified. Leave it as it is. That's it. Second question is 1 by square root 7 minus square root 6. So again, look now, you need to rationalize the denominator. Minus sign, two terms are there and in between minus sign is there. Means here, both the numerator and denominator, you will write the same square root 7, square root 6 but with plus sign. Into square root 7 plus square root 6 divided by square root 7 plus square root 6. Now simplify. 1 into this is same. Square root 7 plus square root 6 divided by 7 individually you will multiply. Square root 7 whole square minus into plus is minus. Square root 6 whole square. Square root will get cancelled. Here only I will write. You should write one below the other. So it is square root 7 plus square root 6 in the numerator as it is. In the denominator is 7 minus 6. So difference 7 minus 6 is nothing but 1, children. So you need not mention that in the denominator. And you can keep the final answer to be square root 7 plus square root 6. That's it. Third question. 1 divided by square root 5 plus square root 2. Again, rationalize the denominator. Plus sign is there. So you just change the sign to be minus in both numerator and denominator. Multiply 1 into square root 5 minus square root 2 is again square root 5 square root 2. Square root 5 into square root 5 is square root 5 whole square plus into minus minus square root 2 whole square. Now numerator you cannot simplify, write as it. Square root gets cancelled, square root get cancelled, 5 minus 2. So answer is square root 5 minus square root 2. 5 minus 2 is 3. Keep it as it is. Further you cannot simplify. Am I bit fast? No problem. You can rewind the video now. So I am going bit fast. You need to complete the portions, children. You will be having FM1, FA2, FA3, FA4, SA1, SA2, everything. So we need to complete the portions faster. 1 by square root 7 minus 2 is there. Now children, this is bit different, you see. Until now, in example problems or these three problems which we solved, both the numbers used to have the root sign. Square root it used to have. But here 2 is not. For 2 sign is not there. I mean square root is not there. No problem. It doesn't make any difference for us. What we do is same thing you do. Square root 7. In between minus is there means change to plus. Square root 7 plus 2. Again don't go to write the root. As it is you need to write. Same repeat. Plus root 7 plus root 2. Now multiply the numerator. 1 into square root 7 plus square root 2 is square root 7 plus square root 2 divided by square root 7 into square root 7 is square root 7 whole square. Minus into plus is minus. 2 into 2 is 2 square. One more step you write. Don't directly write 4. Now square root get cancelled. Till now this one more number root and square also we used to cancel, but here we don't have square root, just 2 square is there. Simply don't cancel. Numerator you cannot simplify. Write it as it is as square root 7 plus square root 2. Here square and square root get cancelled means I am left with only 7 minus as it is 2 square is 4. So numerator square root 7 plus square root 2 if I write as it is 7 minus 4 is 3. So further you cannot simplify and this is the answer. Square root 7 plus square root 2 divided by 3. If at all the number does not have square root and they have asked you to find the, rationalize the denominator, means children, no change. Write it as it is, but don't write square root. In the denominator, square and square root will not get cancelled. So what will happen is, just square the number and write, and then simplify. That's all. So this completes your exercise 1.5, children. This is very, very easy. Next one.